On this Money Monday, a look at your credit status. If you're like the typical Michigan resident, it's not great. Typical Michigan credit score is in the 640s, according to creditkarma.com. That is below the national average. It is also a level that will lock you out of the best interest rates and borrowing deals around. You just won't be able to get them. And so we bring in attorney Michael Jaafar from the Dearborn firm Jaafar and Mahdi. A lot of people see advertisements, Mike, for credit repair services. We could fix it up for you.
Yes.
Your response to that?
Be very careful. Be very wary of people who advertise that they can do credit repair for you. The first person who should analyze your credit score should be yourself. Here's how you do it. Pull a copy of your free credit report and go through it. There's two pieces of bad information on your credit report that could hurt you. Legitimate information and illegitimate information. It's very easy to fix both, and we can talk about ways of doing that.
All right, let's take a look right now as we get into this part of the topic at some home remedies for cleaning up your credit score. And you say you do this at home. Pull the credit report, dispute the inaccurate info by sending them a letter. You write a letter to the credit agencies.
Yes. So here's what you do. Pull your credit report. You can pull a copy of your free credit report once a year by law. Once you do that, look for inaccurate information, because inaccurate information will inevitably weigh your credit score down. The way you take care of inaccurate information is you write a letter of dispute to all three of the credit bureaus. Doing so requires them by law to do an investigation, a reasonable investigation, and to force the credit furnisher, the company putting the information on your credit report, to also do a reasonable investigation. And they are required by law to take it off if it's inaccurate. If they don't take it off, you can and should sue them and get damages.
All right, now we talk about getting the free copy of your credit report. I want to get real specific on this because I get a lot of calls from people and emails from people who get this wrong. There is only one place to get a free copy of your credit report without having to buy another service. And you can do it once a year from each of the credit reporting services.
Yes.
Let's take a look at this right now. The free credit report comes from TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, and you can get that at the website annualcreditreport.com. Forget the websites that say that they are a free service, a free report, a free credit, whatever. It only means the report is free. In order to get that, you often have to buy another service, and it's renewed automatically, in many cases, every single month. So Annual Credit Report is your direct link to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax.
Absolutely correct, Murray. That's the only place to get a true free copy of your credit report, and you can go there every year, no strings attached, and you will get a copy of each one of the credit reports from each one of those bureaus that you just mentioned. Get a copy of it, look through it. If there's inaccurate information, write letters of dispute, and if there's accurate information, we can discuss ways of getting that off as well.
Okay. Say it's legitimate. They have some bad stuff on there. Can an attorney actually get that off there?
Yes, and here's what's important for people to know. The people who advertise credit repair sometimes make you believe that they're going to take care of your credit score no matter what. That's not possible. Only an attorney or you yourself can get legitimate bad information off your report. Let's talk about an example of what legitimate bad information is. Let's say you have a delinquent debt, or let's say you have a judgment from an old utility bill or an old credit card bill. The only way to get that off is not by disputing it. The only way to get it off is by either paying it off or settling it for less or wiping it out in a bankruptcy. Those are your only three options: paying it in full, paying less, or filing bankruptcy and wiping it out. Whatever you need to do to get that information off of your report, just clear that debt off, you need to do in order to improve your credit. If you don't do that, your credit score will never improve.
Very quickly as we wrap this up, you said the B word. You are an attorney, bankruptcy. Do you steer people away from bankruptcy?
It's absolute protocol for any attorney to steer people away from bankruptcy. It should always be a last resort, but people need to always remember it's one of your options. It's not an option. It's not a non-option, but it's not your first option, but it is an option. There's other ways of doing it, but if you cannot afford to pay a debt, and if you cannot afford to settle it for less, and if you're getting garnished, if your credit score is being weighed down, you can't rent an apartment, you've got no choice. At that point, you file a bankruptcy, if that's your only option. But if you can afford to pay the debt off, you pay it off. If not, you file bankruptcy.
All right. Well, attorney Michael Jaafar from Jaafar and Mahdi in Dearborn, we thank you for being here. We have a link to his site on our site, myfoxdetroit.com, and on his site, you will get the addresses of those three credit agencies that we talked about, and annualcreditreport.com. Get it at myfoxdetroit.com on the Money Monday page. See you tonight at 5.